Hi, how's it going? So I got me a stone. Now this is a natural stone, which I tend to lean towards using. And I painted it black. And then I just found some scrap plastic and I cut the shape of a heart out of it. And then you just kind of want to eyeball the center of your stone. And then I just marked it. And then I'm going to draw a straight line down it. And that's just going to help me to keep my hearts in line here. I'm going to go ahead and line up the heart cutout with the line on the stone. I'm going to draw one heart and then flip it around and do the opposite side. And then I'm going to put one right in between each of those. So there's going to be a total of 4 hearts there in the center. Trying to decide, what are some really pretty Valentine's Day colors. You can actually find inspiration just about anywhere. I had just picked up these beautiful flowers from the supermarket, so I decided to use pinks and purples. Now this is my white tool from my dotting set of tools that I have in my Etsy shop. And I'm just going to put one dot at the base of each of the hearts. And then I'm going to grab my largest nail stylus, which I call the size 5, and I'm going to go ahead and just dot all the way up as far as I can go to either side of that first initial dot there. So just follow right on your guidelines. And go ahead and do the bottom of each of the hearts. And then I'm going to take my stylus and I'm going to dip it in paint and I'm going to go about midway up the curve of the heart, and I'm going to dot down to down the side there to where the dots meet up, and then I'm going to go ahead and dip my stylus again and dot down into the center of the heart, and go ahead and do that to each of the 4 hearts there. There. And now I'm going to go with baby pink, and I'm going to be doing the same pattern with the dots that I just did with the white color. I don't do this with the rest of it, but I do on this part right here. I just kind of follow the same rules that I did with the white paint. So just go ahead and go start at the base, dot all the way up the sides, and then right about midway of the curve of the heart, and then down, and then back at that midway point, and then go down into the center of the inner part of the heart. And do that to all 4 of them with the baby pink. And then I'm going to be mixing baby pink and vivid violet. Now these are all Deco Art Americana colors. I really love these paints. I just think they're pretty much perfect right out of the bottle. So I mix those 2 up, and then I'm just going to kind of make what looks like a claw. So I don't go all the way down into the center of the heart. I just kind of start at the bottom and then radiate up towards the top of the hearts, and then I just leave it at that. Go ahead and do each of the 4 hearts like that. These are all still staying with the size 5 nail stylus. And then I'm going to go with the straight vivid violet. And same thing, just kind of making like a little claw with the same tool. Alright, for the next color I'm going to mix vivid violet and brilliant purple. And I'm going to go down a size with the nail stylus and just go with the size 4. And just kind of fill in the little bit of blank space there in the hearts. Alright, moving on. This is my pink tool, and I'm going to go with gold. And I'm going to put one dot right there in the center. And then I'm going to follow up with my white tool, and I'm going to put the next dot right in that little X there right between each of the hearts. And then I will follow that with the size 5 nail stylus and go ahead and dot all the way out. And you just want to dip it and then dot all the way as far as you can go, and then the dots will naturally just get smaller for you. And then you will re-dip it at that point. And then I'm going to kind of line the outside of the hearts here. I'm sticking with the gold, and I'm sticking with the size 5 nail stylus. And I'm just kind of making a V, just hugging the shape that I've got there, the outline of the hearts. Starting on the outside and then working the way down. Alright, now I've let this fully dry, so just about a half an hour or so, and I came back, and I'm going to do smaller hearts right in the corner there, right in that little V, the little golden bridge. I'm going to stick a smaller heart down in there. And I just cut this out with some scrap plastic again, and you could use anything though, really, paper or poster board, whatever you have handy. And just made it a little bit smaller and a little bit skinnier. Just put it down and eyeball it, and I'm just using a regular mechanical pencil. Alright, this is my size 5 nail stylus, and I'm going with Brilliant Purple. It's just the straight color, so I'm just going to use the lid of the bottle. And then just start at the bottom, the base of the heart, and dot up each side, and then down in the middle, the crease of the heart, and dot around and kind of meet up with the last dots. Alright, mixing the two. And I'm going to use my largest stylus again, and just going to do down in the base, start there, dot up each side just like a little claw, just like we did previously. And just leave it at that. Go ahead with the straight vivid violet color. And keep going with the claw. I only fit about 2 or 3 dots up each side. And then back to the baby pink. And this is a much smaller tool. This is my size 2. And I just put about, 2 or 3 in there. Alright, and this is the color lavender. And I'm just going to put a few dots going up from the base of the small heart. And they just fit right in between the gold and the heart. And if yours don't fit, then don't worry about it. Just go from the top, the center of the heart there, the crease, and go down the sides. And that would be just as well. But I was able to fit a little bit in there, so I just went on and squeezed them in. And then I'm going to follow that up with some gold. I just start down at the base. And I can't get too far down, so it's just kind of as far down as I can get. And dot up. And I just left it. I didn't go all the way up and around the heart. I just went up the sides. And then I'm going to use the gold and start in the center of the larger hearts and dot outward to either side. And just stop when you get to the small heart. And then I'm going to be mixing some more colors. These are Lavender and Blue Harbor. And I'm using my cutout. Now the paint I did let dry again for the 4 smaller hearts. Because you kind of have to handle your stone a little bit to draw on your guidelines. Well, I'm using the same cutout that I had for the other ones, the other small hearts there. And I'm going to use that mixture of Blue Harbor and Lavender. Again, starting at the base, working my way up, and then into the center of the heart and working my way out. And just do that to all 4 of those. Followed by some straight lavender paint, making little claws on the inside. And then I'm using that previous mixture of Brilliant Purple and Vivid Violet that I've got in my palette. Just kind of use up my colors. And then I'm going to use gold around that. And I just kind of leave it open, and then I follow the gold with some white. And that's it. That's it for this design. Hey, if you like this tutorial, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It does help me out. And if you have any suggestions for me for future tutorials or anything that you would like to see in particular, definitely leave me a comment in the comment section below, and I will try to make that happen for you. And of course, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.